What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about Lucid. I want to go over some of the data points, break it down what's influencing it, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So Lucid is up 1.13%, 265 the low, 272 the high. Kind of low volume today, so 35.2 million shares being traded, 111 is the average. Same goes for yesterday, so a little bit hesitation coming from institutions, but no official news from Lucid today, no SEC filings. Market is clearly digesting a couple different things though. One is the new analyst rating. So there was a couple that was posted yesterday. So 𝗖𝗧𝗡, $3 price target. Stefan, who has a 38% success rating. Then you did have Andre Shepard reiterate. It doesn't show a price target here, but it was that $3 price target. And Andre Shepard, 48% success rating. Andre Shepard honestly has been kind of reiterating their price target on Lucid for I feel like every 3 weeks, which is kind of random, but nonetheless though, market is digesting that. In addition to, Mark did participate in a forum, so the US Saudi investment forum. So he was able to kind of explain some backing of Lucid, and as well why Lucid didn't really go the China route. So that was kind of new information, but I feel like a lot of investors might have wanted a little bit extra from him, only because of various things that are posted. It goes to show that there's moving parts behind the scenes. And what I mean by that is Lucid Oasis posted this yesterday, and want to give a shout out to Truth Rules. He or she I somehow didn't see this post, so he actually brought it to my attention. But nonetheless, it does look as though that Lucid did hire a new director of charging and smart energy, 𝗪𝗓𝗡𝗡𝗖𝗧, if I'm saying that right. But it goes to show, if you kind of read between the lines, so Lucid's home, public, and vehicle-to-grid charging ecosystem. So you guys know I'm a big fan of ESS. I think that's one of the big attributing factors alongside the Lucid's expansion, why I really started to invest and why I like Lucid. So if, let's say, they are hiring this individual for ESS development, I think that's going to be a key thing for Lucid in the foreseeable future. So kind of add an asterisk to the upcoming earnings. When retail is going to ask questions to management, ask about this, unless they've obviously brought it up on their own free will in that meantime. But definitely this is going to be huge for Lucid, because even several years back when things were fairly gray, it was anticipated like $22 billion per year of revenue could be generated from ESS. And Lucid, as far as I'm aware, has amazing technology. They even have a prototype number 2 that they did bring up, I think, in 2023. They actually have and currently still are leasing land close to AMP1 for, which in my opinion is for ESS. So let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. Only other thing that did come out was this right here. So Lucid's investor relations chief exits, and that was as of Friday. So I'm sure a lot of individuals know who Maynard is, because he's been kind of the voice behind all the earnings. So it's sad to see an OG leave, but obviously it happens. It doesn't actually state exactly why they are leaving, but I think this article, like I've brought up in the past, this Claudio individual really taking a negative spin to absolutely everything, including this. But I don't really see someone's departure something to be FUD about, if that makes sense. So let me know your viewpoint on that. As far as shorts, they are increasing 211,000 shares. 28.55% of the free floats being shorted, works out to be 352.15 million shares overall are being shorted. So shorts definitely are still active as usual. Cost to borrow minimum is negative, so once again that does mean that there is a broker out there physically paying people to short Lucid. So kind of interesting as far as that goes. And yesterday, my apologies, I didn't do a Lucid video yesterday, but I do always post this every single evening. So Lucid shorts did return 915,000 shares yesterday. So pretty good to see. Moving over to options, 411,000 in calls, 210 in puts, 52% of all the options being done today. are bearish in nature. So there is still some a certain level of hesitation coming from institutions with Lucid. So I think they just really want some confirmation in some kind of aspect that Lucid's ramping up and that they're going to be generating more and more revenue. But aside from that, based on the bulls, you are seeing a consensus for it to be roughly around that $3 range, and then the bears for it to be sub $250. These are all the transactions occurring on the secondary market above $100,000. So not all that much. Like I said, it's kind of on a little bit on the low volume day, but a couple of sells, couple buys, evenly divided today. These are all the transactions on the dark pool. So no transactions above 1 million, but again, this kind of does match with the lower volume overall, but with it at 269, it is trading between this R2 and this R1. So 264 is going to be a strong support. So just watch for that. And that's kind of what the low is for today. It bounced off of that. Then 278 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. So I think overall the market in its entirety was going to be possibly dragged down because of two things. One was CPI, second one is upcoming this Friday, and that's Michigan consumer sentiment. CPI came in absolutely phenomenal. So I think the market is now ready to really move higher. Markets ran up like significantly, erasing all of the losses from 2025. So things are starting to really heat up. But big money, I feel from what I can see, is really focusing on kind of profitable companies right now. So even more reason why Lucid really needs to kind of get the damn job done, really ramp up. Then that way it will continue to get the kind of massive amount of institutional attention as what it frequently has done in the past. These are all the 13 Fs, the latest ones. So you see pretty much some institutions selling. So HSBC did close out all their calls. You have some institutions increasing 51%. Again, all of these transactions did occur during Q1, so it's not as though they just did it, but you do have UBS, which is kind of interesting that they did increase their actual common stock by 136%, but they also increased their puts by 70%. So a little bit more of a hedge for that. You have Dimensional increasing 100%. So good to see, definitely. Geode increasing 4.07%, and then Russell 1,746%. So good to see. So hopefully Lucid does continue to, like I say, kind of execute and continue their good quarter-over-quarter growth, kind of incentivizing some investments. So aside from the analyst ratings and everything else that I did bring up that's kind of influencing it, on the actual chart itself, it is above all the key kind of pivotal points right now. So it is above the 100-day moving average and also 50. So that does usually mean like a 30% swing. This right now, what has happened over the last couple of trading days, has been the most timid Lucid has ever been. So it's kind of a very interesting scenario. Every time in the past Lucid's broken above the 50-day moving average, you kind of have explosive growth. This time around, it's somewhat lagging. Like I said, still holding above that 100-day moving average, so it's definitely still good, but clearly people, maybe just with the broader market, everything going like FOMO 2.0, maybe big money is focusing on a lot of those kind of semi plays and whatever else, and kind of neglecting Lucid. So there might be a rotation back into Lucid, really pushing it higher. Next strong point is going to be that 200-day moving average at 281. So let me know your thoughts on Lucid. What's your viewpoint, for instance, on this new recent hire? So right here about this 𝗪𝗓𝗓𝗡𝗘𝗖𝗧. Do you think that does mean ESS, or is that going to be for something else? And when it comes down to Maynard, do you think that this is something more than what is being portrayed, or do you think it's just it is what it is? So what's your general thoughts? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. One final thing, pop over to my Discord, completely free. A lot of good people talking about stocks, options, crypto. Many Lucid investors as well are in there. So definitely pop over there, take a look. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.